What's going on? Welcome to Shred Gaming and my first impressions and review of the stress test of Mortal Kombat 1. So make sure to hit that subscribe and like button. Now let's get after it. And a real quick disclaimer, I do not actually own a PS5. I will be playing on PC when the game comes out. So I want to give a huge shout out to my boy Original Shinobi. He was kind enough to welcome me into his home and let me play the stress test with him. So make sure to check out his Twitch stream and give him a follow. So right away, when you first get into the main menu, I thought to myself, this is not your typical Mortal Kombat game, where almost every Mortal Kombat game in the past has been very dark and grim. This game is full of color and life, and the music is warm and peaceful. Which tells me two things. One, this is a new beginning, and two, this is setting up for a big adventure. The menu and tower music definitely doesn't feel like past games. It feels much more like a Korean MMORPG. This is the type of music I would hear when I was either picking a character or creating one. Now, I don't know for certain, but I feel like this kind of hints at a conquest mode. Either way, the menu and tower music definitely makes me feel like I'm walking down a path in the wilderness. Now, where the music and feel is different in the menu, towers, and character select, it dramatically changes during the fight. The overall feel during a fight is much more like a battle rather than a lively adventure. The one stage music that really stuck out to me was the tea house. It definitely put me in the tea house and made me feel like I was the one fighting there, as if I was in a Bruce Lee movie. And it definitely had that hint of 3D era Mortal Kombat vibe to it. The attention to detail was huge in the stages as well, especially in the Johnny Cage's mansion stage. All the little decorations and even the textures of the walls stood out to me. It's not just a pretty stage, but actually makes me feel like I'm in the mansion looking out to the Hollywood Hills. The sound editing was also top tier, especially if you played Sub-Zero or Katana. Not only did the particles look amazing in the game, but the sound packed a huge punch. All the ice breaking and the fan slicing made you feel even more like you were in the room. I've mentioned before that I really like the sound editing in Mortal Kombat 9 because Katana's fans actually sounded lethal, like they were cutting flesh. That is definitely in the case in this game. And now color plays a huge part in this game. The contrast in the color is what makes the stages, characters, and overall feel of the game and really makes everything pop, especially in the fatal blows, fatalities, and brutalities. It kind of reminded me of a Frank Miller film where the color would dull or darken and the director would use bright colors to accentuate the important parts of a scene. Some of my favorites were Katana and Kanchi's brutalities. Notice how the scene darkens and the red and blue really pop out, not to mention their wind poses are very anime. And now for the gameplay itself. One thing I will say is the game is actually pretty difficult, but not for the reasons you might think. It's difficult because it's new. The combos and special moves kind of remain the same as they have been in past NRS Mortal Kombat games, but the pace of the game and the use of cameo characters feels much different. The pace is much more like Mortal Kombat 9. Not too fast, but slightly faster than Mortal Kombat 11, and the cameo fighters definitely help with the speed of the game. And the cameo fighters is absolutely everything in this game. You can have some good setups and combos with your character alone, but your cameo fighters is where your creativity and expression come into the game. They can help zone, extend combos, set up combos, and so much more. The game definitely has a learning curve to it, but I will say it's not too much of a learning curve. After about an hour of practicing and labbing, I was able to create some pretty fancy combos using my cameo fighter. And probably the biggest thing is combos are 100% back. Remember those big spicy combos you created in Mortal Kombat X? Well, they are back and used to the fullest. I can imagine creators making videos of just them in the lab, making those huge 75% combo strings. It's very refreshing and a great return to what we all know and love about Mortal Kombat's gameplay. So if you got to play the stress test, or maybe you just watched it on YouTube or Twitch, tell me what you guys think, how you felt about the game, and how the game felt to you overall, like the pace of the game, the gameplay, the mechanics, the cameo fighters. Let me know what you guys think about it. Overall, I felt the game is super fun. I have heard from a few people that it feels like kind of like Mortal Kombat 11 Part 2, and I actually disagree. I would say that it feels a lot more like Mortal Kombat 9 as far as pacing goes. And with the cameo fighters, it felt a lot like Mortal Kombat X. It, definitely sped up the combos and extended the combos a lot more to make them those big, fancy, spicy combos that we all know and love. But overall, it is super fun. Definitely not a polished game yet, or this was a build that was created a long time ago and that it's just used for the stress test, and it definitely does not feel like a final build. I won't say for certain, but this could be my favorite Mortal Kombat game. The vibrant colors, the light, the feel of the game, the music, it is definitely a different and new Mortal Kombat game. That is for sure. It is not like a previous Mortal Kombat game. It's not a continuation, that's for sure. And I feel really good about this game, and coming off of Mortal Kombat 11, I really have high hopes for this game. So I want to know what you guys think, and until next time, shred out.